Hi everyone, I'm Silver, otherwise known as BP to my EVE community's old guard. I just want to put a quick message out there to say thank you very much for taking a chance with my Starsector story. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to making many more in the future. This prologue is a mix between actual Starsector lore and the lore of my faction Pandemonium from my first playthrough, and it's going to lead to me making more of these videos of my future playthroughs in the future. I just wanted to say thank you very much to all those that have helped me in this project in some way, shape, or form. You are, of course, listed at the bottom of the YouTube video in the description. And to finish, if you are an artist and you have an interest in being part of a story and a project like this, please let me know in the comments and I will be in touch. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the birth of Pandemonium.
My beautiful boy, welcome to this broken, unforgiving world. I'm only sorry that I will not be there to watch you grow. I will come back to you, both of you.
Our story begins with the end. The end of an era that will engrave itself on the minds of society forevermore. Cycle 194. The forces of the Tritakon Corporation and Hegemony crossblades once again, bringing forth the woeful cries of husbands, wives, and children from all over the Persian sector. These meaningless scuffles provide no benefit to the sector, and many look to the leadership involved with disgust. Tritakon were known for their high-tech hit-and-run strategies against the Hegemony during their war. They worked, and to great effect. So it seems strange when a Tritakon fleet was spotted approaching Chikamotsok for a direct attack on the Hegemony's home planet. Not seeing anything like this before, the Hegemony panicked and managed to scrounge together a defense fleet in time to ward off the Tritakon attackers, pushing back Tritakon's attempt at using their planet killer weapon and eliminating some of the Tritakon fleet. The Tritakon forces then began to retreat. Thanks to the brave crew of the TTS Invincible, a Paragon-class battleship, the majority of the Tritakon crews made it out alive. The TTS Invincible held the rear guard for the retreating Tritakon forces whilst under heavy fire from the Hegemony's fleet. How it remained alive is still a mystery to military tacticians to this day. This was recorded as Operation Forlorn Hope. What isn't recalled in your history books, or your stories of legend, are the acts of the Pandamonium Rebellion. During the conflict between the Tritakon and Hegemony forces over Chikamotsok, a political coup was taking place. It was intended, of course, to be peaceful, but like other wartime coups, it didn't end up quite as clean as the agents of Pandemonium expected. Alarms blaring, sirens buzzing, people shouting. The docks of Chikamotsok went haywire with the news of a Tritakon invasion force in the Aslan system. A firm but calm voice could be heard over the tannoy.
All pilots and crews to prepare for takeoff. ETA 10 minutes.
The HSS Distant Light was parked at the far end of the dockyard. Being one of the smaller vessels, it was likely that it'd be one of the first to take to the skies of Chikamotsok. One of the pilots, attempting to get himself geared up while sprinting, calls two nearby engineers. "You two, come with me, now. I need a full reload and one of my machine guns needs looking at." He sprints towards the vessel, immersion suit half hanging off his hips. He clicks his communicator and says, "Tower, this is the captain of the HSS Distant Light, requesting refuel in Bay 91. Out." Soon after, a green tick appears on his suit's wrist display, with "Refuel request accepted. Team dispatched. ETA 45 seconds. He begins to pick up his pace. The HSS Distant Light was a Hammerhead-class destroyer, a relic passed down through his family, gifted to him by his father. On arrival at the vessel, the fuel bowser was connecting up, and the weapons crew began loading the Sabre missiles. "Captain, a voice announced. "Silver, it's good to see you." Captain Silver exchanges a firm handshake with the man, pulls him close, and whispers, "It's good to see you too. Listen, this is the opportunity that we've been waiting for. It's the big one. Get everyone on board. We'll take off in 5. Navigation, this is going to be a fast dock. Watch your entry. Comms, I want a complete blackout except my line. I want as little eyes on us as possible. All Marines, prepare for boarding of the TTS Invincible. Non-lethal weapons only. Firefly 1, you know your orders." The atmosphere aboard the HSS Distant Light was thrumming with energy. Some would say almost enough that going dark wouldn't be enough to stay hidden. An air of excitement and anxiety filled the room. What came next was the first unknown factor of the Pandemonium plan.
"Extend docking clamps,"
The captain ordered.
"Comms, when safely behind the Invincible, give me a private line to Director Kader."
The distant light began to hum with the ambient growl of machinery in motion. The bridge became a hive of activity, the crew working hard to prepare their ship like bees for their queen. The distant light lurched, coming to a full halt, before slowly drifting sideways towards the Invincible.
"Director, we need to talk."
An awkward pause for 1, 2, maybe 3 minutes, until the comms line crackled to life again.
To the bridge. Quickly. Welcome aboard.
As the docking process took place, the Pandemonium-aligned Marines held the door in defensive formation, with Captain Silver stood behind them ready to greet their boarding party. This was an unsure moment. Was the crew of the Invincible all in on this plan? Or were the Marines going to have to take a few people out? The door cranked open slowly, and the room was silent. A flood of strange blue-red hue lit up the interior of the docking port on the HSS Distant Light. Nothing. Nothing except an empty corridor with 2 engineers in the process of repairing battle damage with the faint sound of an industrial plasma torch. Cade had kept his word. A small strike squad of Marines were sent ahead and took a different exit to that of the entourage. The remaining Marines, captain and crew, steadily progressed through the decks of the TTS Invincible until they reached a room full of Tritakion's engineers. A blue-white hologram lit up the space, and the dull, boring grey of the corporate vessel was a constant reminder that they were now in hostile territory. 2 engineers were ordered to stay with the Tritakion engineers, and as the crew of the Distant Light passed the consoles in the room, the Tritakion engineering team and the crew of the Distant Light acknowledged each other with an affirmative nod. Several minutes later, the remaining crew and the captain approached what could only be described as a typical corporate shouting match. As the entourage entered the large circular room, the shouting stopped.
"I must speak to Director Kader at once. It is a matter of urgency."
The room remained silent for but a moment. One officer slowly stood up from their seat and said, "Captain Silver." The sound of a dull click, followed by a gunshot, and then the realization that this officer was armed. The Pandemonium-aligned Marines opened fire professionally on the target, as they were trained to do so, and disarmed the man. The fiery ache of a burning wound, the rush of adrenaline, and the sounds of the medical staff hurrying to his aid filled the senses of Captain Silver. He glared down to see blood pouring out of his bicep, and the scorched black fibers of his flight suit merging to his skin.
"Everyone, stand down!"
An assertive voice demands.
"Security, take that officer to the brig. I don't want to see him in my sight ever again. Medical team, to the bridge. Patch up Captain Silver, please."
The crew carried the injured captain through the room, and the same nods of acknowledgement were given by the remaining crew of the Invincible.
"Captain Silver,
Kader began.
I'm taking a huge risk in this insane plan of yours. We're retreating from the AO as we speak. So tell me, what's in this for us?"
Captain Silver locked eyes with Director Kader.
"Existence. The Hegemony is sending Orcus Rao to come to a white peace with Tritakion. I need to speak to Artemisia, right now. In the meantime, I will keep the remaining Hegemony ships off your back while you retreat."
Zero, this is Firefly 1. Package is secure. 2 prisoners, 7 KIA. Out.
Well, team, we made it. This is independent turf. What we are about to do will change the course of the Persian sector forever, Silver proudly announced. The crew of the Distant Light jumped to their feet with excitement and erupted into cheers, applause, and laughter. The energy in the room was palpable as Silver exchanged handshakes and proud smiles with his crew.
HSS Distant Light, this is the Academy Tower. Proceed to docking port 3. I repeat, proceed to docking port 3. Out.
As the docking clamps closed shut on the Distant Light and the walkways extended, the crew of the vessel felt the weight of the universe lift from their shoulders. It was finally time to lay low, relax, and prepare for Phase 3 of the rebellion. Wait. As highly trained as the Pandemonium crews were, every crew needs their downtime. Luckily, using his Academy contact, Captain Silver organised for the families of the crews to arrive on the Academy station 6 hours prior to the Distant Light. An eater bed was extremely useful in this regard, and would prove a useful contact for what is to come. No rest for the wicked though. Captain Silver, upon arriving at the Glacier Academy, was handed a communicator by an academician and told to speak to Anita Baird immediately. This seemed unusual. Had something gone wrong?
Silver, as ever it is wonderful to see you. Before you get too comfortable on the Academy, I have an urgent request of you. Let's call it payment for all this paperwork you've got me doing.
After a brief respite, the Distant Light is voidborn again. Navigation plots course to the inner hyperspace jump point. Comms acknowledges safe detachment from the Academy station, and the ship's comms system clicks to life. I am sorry, team, to drag you away so swiftly from your families. This might take us a month or so, but I will double your vacation leave when this is done. This is a strange one, so buckle up. Navigation, set our destination to the Sagan system. We have an AI core to find. Multiple heads immediately turn with wide eyes glaring at the captain, but no one argues. The ship creaks loudly, and time seems to stand still as the empty void of space churns something vile in the captain's stomach. I guess our adventure begins. Never get used to these hyperspace jumps.